Good morning and welcome back to Adobe Live. This is the third day of UI and UX week here with the beautifully bearded Peter Deltondo. We'll go with that. My name's Howard Pinsky, Senior XD Evangelist over here at Adobe, and we've had a packed week.
Yeah.
We've kicked off with Peter Deltondo, who's been designing this really cool app for Rosanna Pansino. And we've also had Evan Place with the amazing Gus Bot right over there. You can see him chatting as Adobe Live. And then we're gonna finish up the day with Michael Kotchenberger, who's been designing movie ticket booking app using your voice, which is super cool. I'm excited to see how all of these play out over the last day. If you haven't really seen much of Peter, where have you been, first of all? But you can check him out, dribble.com/Peter Deltondo. But how about you just tell them about yourself? I don't think you've done that this week. I don't think I've given you a chance.
No, you've just been cruising.
I'm sorry.
That's why we got so much stuff going here. Yeah, so I am a UI UX designer, husband, dad, and actually I usually start that with husband, dad, UI UX designer, in that order, because that's the intention behind all of it. And so I specialize in product design, building apps, whether it be desktop or mobile, and do some web design as well, and strategy and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And I stay really busy between that. I also help with the Creative South Conference team, and I also just started a new design meetup at the Disneyland parks once a month.
I'm excited for this one.
So yeah, make sure to follow on social and stuff. You'll see info about that. It's in some of my bios. And if you guys are in SoCal, please come join us at the park. And there's probably a lot of other stuff that I'm forgetting about. Yeah, I mean, you can follow me on everything, Dribble, Behance, Instagram. I live stream just like this on Twitch every Friday morning, if you guys want to tune in too, and Twitter, Facebook, all of the things.
And now you're making plugins.
Yeah, now we're making plugins for XD. Again, really busy, but it's all good stuff.
Awesome, and welcome to everyone who is joining us in chat. We have Tim, Matthias, Mario, Claudia, Mark, a lot of people from all over the world. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We are here in beautiful, very foggy this morning, San Francisco. I did a time lapse last night of from my hotel, just the fog basically consuming the entire hotel. It was kind of crazy. And if you do want to really participate today, we do have a portfolio review. If you go to the top right corner of your Behance chat, you have all the information where you can submit your portfolio, your Behance portfolio. And at the end of today's stream, Peter and I will be going to space, and we're gonna be reviewing these wonderful portfolios.
Out of this world.
Out of this world, indeed.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so what do we have planned today?
Yeah, so today we are gonna jump right here into the app. For those of you that might have tuned in last night, I was on Twitch. If you guys, it's twitch.com/Peter Deltondo. It's just my full name on every network. So yeah, last night I did a stream for about 3 hours or so, and we finished up the whole app and did the whole design. And that's what I love about streaming. We get you guys to collaborate and hear with us and give us feedback and ideas. And last night I was working with Chris Cannon, who's helping me with an idea here and there.
Chris is great.
And yeah, it really helped bring the app and portions together.
And before you do that, I know Paco's gonna kill me. I gotta switch over to my screen one more time.
Yeah.
We have a winner from yesterday. So yesterday we ran a design challenge, and the goal was to create an app that was basically like a food ordering app. And it was Pierre who submitted this entry here. Go ahead and play that. He used auto animate to create these really cool interactions, this loading screen, some drag effects, and you can see the text is changing as the drag is happening. The menu slides out, really cool stuff. And he uploaded it as a video so we can see it. Again, auto animate isn't supported completely on the web yet, but that is being worked on. But good job, Pierre. Congratulations, you did just win a 1-year subscription to the Creative Cloud.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome.
Now we're good to go.
Yeah, and then guys, I don't know if the chat is stuck at the top or something, but I think we're a little late on that one. Okay, cool. So let's jump over here. So last night, a couple of screens I finished up. I tidied up the equipment screens here, added in some more products. I also did the video section last night. And then we finished up the shop. And so just real quick to give an overview, we've got our product image, we've got the name of the product and the price, and just keeping things really simple and clean here. And then coming over to the product page, we've got the ability then to drag this, and so we'll prototype that out. And a nice big order button down at the bottom that can't be missed. And I played around, I should have kept them, let me show.
And Greg, yeah, as Gus just mentioned in the chat, all of it was done in XD, and you're gonna see a lot of that during today's stream with Peter. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, and I had a different version. I removed all my extra artboards for this file today, but I was trying to put a order button, down below, underneath, etc., and then between all the content, which is going to be adjustable. When I try to design, I try to control my environment as much as possible, and so I know that if I pin that down to the bottom, it's always visible, and therefore it's the best function for it, or best use case.
Yep.
I also did the little hamburger fly out over here, so that'll open up this menu.
Love it.
And then we can click on About and get this information about Row, all of our social channels and more. And then this was our favorite section. And so we did some cool animations here through transitions, through like a tap and hold, which XD can't do yet, but I'm gonna simulate through.
You can fake it.
Tap.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things that XD can't do just yet, but they can definitely be faked.
Right. So I mean, that's kind of it. We got through 5 different sections of this application this week, and another screen or 2. And there's definitely a few things in here that, given more time, and if this was a normal project, we would definitely redo or button up a little bit more, and maybe do some different solutions. But I think we're in a good enough spot for the purposes of this demo and showcasing these things.
Totally. And for those who are just joining us today, zoom in on the navigation bar at the bottom, because I love this button. It's so simple, but Peter was able to just basically duplicate that top layer, fill it completely, and then have this really cool effect. It's really nice. It's elegant.
Just a little something.
Yeah.
All right, so this is our home feed, and actually, I don't need the tag on, or excuse me, I do. It's just not showing on the other. And so let's see what we could or would want to animate here. I know I'm gonna wanna animate all of my hamburgers over to that item. We know we've got the scroll here, which we've technically already got. And this is gonna move us to blog. So let's start with our navigation items down here. Let's pull that over to the blog page. And I don't think we need to do, let's try auto animate and just see what it does. This is the fun part. We get to just kind of explore.
Yeah.
And so let's see what I do.
That's a big part of designing. It's just testing out different things.
Yeah.
Different transitions, different triggers.
So let's see what that does now. Okay. Let's do a simple transition, maybe a dissolve. All right, and let's just try that out. Let's make sure we like it. I actually like the auto animate. Let's stick with that. Okay, so tap, auto animate, and I think we'll go there with the defaults. And then let's link up the rest of these sections. So let's grab videos. I might have to zoom out a bit here to see that. And I mean, it's really just this easy. We're just gonna go and connect the dots essentially.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, XD remembers the last properties you've made for your transition. So if you just want to keep the same one and you want to apply it on various buttons, you basically just drag the handle, and all the settings are going to populate in.
Yep. All right, shop. Now, I'm curious, and if not, this would be a great feature down the road, but if we connected all of these prototype sequences in a symbol, would it retain that?
Say that again.
So see how I'm linking to every screen?
Yep.
I theoretically then have to do that in every instance of usage.
Yes.
So that would be a good feature. Yeah. All right, we'll just go through here really quick. Let's get all of these squared away. And you know what? Let's make this easier to connect these dots. So we've got all this is going to be blog stuff. let's go down to the next section. Let's grab videos. And I'm just gonna move these so that way I don't have to zoom so far out at every point. So we'll get videos section underneath the blog. Let's grab all of our shop screens. Do those maybe just right here. And favorites, we'll maybe move that up top. And these screens as well. Okay, so that's just gonna make things a little bit more convenient. And let's make sure we got favorites linked up. Put favorites up top here. Okay, that one's going right. All right, so we'll come down here. We've got our home. Let's get videos squared away. Let's get our shop and our favorites back up top again.
Another feature I would love, because I'm just thinking through this and some of the pain points as you're doing this, is, you know, let's say after you've dragged out all of these handles on these various artboards, and then you decide, you know what, I'm not feeling that auto animate. I want to go back to a transition, maybe with a slide effect. You would essentially have to go back and change every single one.
Right.
So it'd be cool to somehow, if the team is watching, or if anyone wants to put this in user voice if it's not there already, is select multiple handles, and if they have all the same properties, just change them all at once.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Okay, so let's do this last one, and then let's start getting to some more exciting stuff. Okay, so we've got that. We want to do.
Oh, Nana's asking, who's the host that Peter's sitting with? My name's Howard Pinsky. I am on
Howard
Behance.
Pinsky.
I don't post much on Behance, but I should.
You should.
I really should.
Okay, this is gonna go up to here. Okay, and this one, let's see. I don't know that we would have an auto animate. I was picturing more of a fly out. So let's see, transition.
Is that for the menu?
Yeah.
You could use an overlay too.
Yeah, that's a better idea. Let's go overlay. I like that. Be ease in out or just ease out?
Ooh, probably just ease out because it's coming from the from outside.
Let's
But
do that.
experimentation is key.
Yeah. And then let's grab this component here. And
Oh, the background changed, right?
it did. I don't know what happened there.
It's because you selected an overlay. If there's no actual background, it
okay.
basically cuts the fill to 0. So you can just add a rectangle behind it, and it should fix it.
Okay, great. And there, so I want to show this because this is an important thing. Because I want this hamburger to link in multiple locations, but I don't always want it going back to the home screen.
Right.
I want to change this to destination, or excuse me, to previous artboard.
Yep.
And that'll just take me back, wherever I went from. All right, and then let's throw let's go back to design. Let's throw that white box here in the background, so that way we don't have that background color issue.
Jennifer's saying that we should have an animation pane. That way the animation is listed and can be selected and modified in one place.
That would be cool.
There's definitely many things that the team is looking into to improve the animation experience now that auto animate is in the wild. And they have some interesting ideas.
Yeah, it's all really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do this one a little. So again, it's doing it based on names, and I'm gonna name these the same thing, even though that's not a close, because I want to see what that animation looks like between these two screens, because it could do something interesting here.
It could.
So let's go to About, and I'm gonna link this. We'll do tap.
And as Peter mentioned, if you are working with auto animate and you do want several objects to animate across multiple artboards, you have to make sure that the names and the shape or the layer types are the same. Otherwise, it'll default to a crossfade transition.
Yep. All right, and so let's take a look at that. What would that one look like here? So if we click About.
Oh,
it's a little quick.
Yeah, a little quick.
But I like it. And then we'll set that to be Well, yeah, we go back to this screen. So let's go.
Oh yeah, Chris mentioned you can also just change the artboard background color on that overlay.
True.
Could have done that too.
And then this item, let's modify that. Let's go, what did I do, 0.6? Let's go 0.6. All right, and let's check that out now. What happened that time? Maybe.
Oh, it
because I
might be
don't
because
have-
the rectangle doesn't exist on the other artboard.
Yeah, so let's copy that over.
Yeah.
Send that to the back. Interesting though, it didn't do that the first time. There we go.
Aha.
Nice and clean.
Beautiful.
And it's also animating the social icons.
Nice.
I don't have a big preference on that one. I think that works really well.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, boom. Settings and about page, totally done. On to the next one. All right, so let's see what else. Let's check out the gallery here on the recipe overview. So we had done this on day one, and let's see. I think I need to make these come down a bit so we can scroll. So let's do these all at once. Bring it down about there. And again, part of the reason that I overshoot this area is because I need to allow room for this navigation because we're pinning that content.
Right, otherwise the bottom post will get cut off.
Right. Yeah. And something that we should do too, I'm not going to just because of time on this, but you'll want to create essentially a backdrop area up top here so that you can pin the date and time since that doesn't move.
Right.
But it's going to move today because
That's okay.
priorities. Okay, so I can scroll down here now, and we've got this set, or we should have this set for click and drag. Let's just double check that. Prototype. Oh, we must have it on these two screens. Okay, so this one here, let's select this item, and oh, excuse me, these are the sequences for the heart. That's what we're looking at there. Did we remove them? We may have removed them. Okay, so let's recreate that. What's it gonna look like when we drag these items around a bit? So let's do it before we, before we favorite it. And I'm gonna create a couple more boards here. Call this drag 1.
Yeah, Chris, Control Tab is the hotkey for prototyping.
Okay, so that's drag 1. So let's drag to the left, or excuse me, yeah, drag pull right, that's what I mean. And let's get our sizing. So let's go into design mode, 231, and we've got 295. So let's have this one 231. And we will do 295. And again, what we're doing here is we want to create this simulated effect of a shrink or expand as we move these items around.
Yep.
And it gives it just a nice little something. It's really exciting.
It does give it a nice little something. And you can also, if you want to get really crazy, you can also adjust the masks.
Yes, let's do that because we'd spoken about that the other day.
We
so let's maybe we'll zoom in a hair on it. That might be the way to go. Just a hair. If we had a little bit better imagery for this, it would work a little cleaner. But let's showcase it. So just a slight zoom. Again here, this one we can exaggerate a bit more.
Get right in close on that unicorn.
Let's do it. Right there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then lastly, this one would be 231. And this one is nope. Do I have them in the right order? Oh, it's a different image.
Oh, you got 2 unicorn images.
Oh, okay. It's essentially the same unicorn, but
Yeah,
anyways, we'll
that's
use
okay.
it. That just threw me off. Okay, so 295. Let's knock that up to the top. We'll center you.
Chris is asking, what does adjusting the mask do? So I think what Peter's going for is that when the drag effect is happening, not only is the box getting larger as it's coming into view, but the mask, the image itself within that mask is also getting larger. So it's kind of, it'll have this cool little, I guess it's almost like a parallax effect.
Yep.
Hey Adele, welcome. Anel, sorry, not Adele. Anel.
That would be cool. Okay, cool.
Sweet.
So let's check those out now. So we said if this is our first, we will go to prototype mode. We'll set this one over here. And let's do drag, auto animate, easing. Do we need easing?
Usually not,
Okay.
but experiment.
And then we can go from there back to this one. Animate, drag, excellent. And then can we do a third? How do we do that? Because we have to link it to.
Yeah, so
to
if you
here.
select individual objects instead of the whole group, you can do
Okay,
it.
let's do that then. I might have to change one of those. Let's have this drag back to there. This I'm gonna remove, and I'm gonna set this to this guy.
And Maricela from France is training herself to switch from Photoshop to XD.
It'd be a very easy transition.
Yeah, especially once you start really using repeat grids, responsive resize, you'll eventually get into auto animate. It's a whole new world. It's gonna save you so much time. And actually, recently I released a few videos on Help X on exactly that, using Photoshop and XD kind of hand in hand, but you'll also see some of the features that really will benefit you as a Photoshop user.
Yeah. So let's check this out. So we've got this set up now,
Yep.
and as I click and drag, so you see a couple things are happening. In this other picture, it's zooming out a little bit, it's shrinking it down.
Look at that.
And you see the animation over here as that
Nice.
image gets a little bit larger. So really, really cool. And then we can pull this one over and we get that same effect.
That looks great.
Really, really cool. I love that. Okay, so
And it retains the scrolling position, which is really cool.
yeah. Okay, and then next, let's go over now to our ingredients list. So let's move a couple of these screens back over. And we'll do this from the hearted screen. All right, so we'll come over here to ingredients and we can auto animate that, that's fine. And I wanna add a couple of things here. So I'm gonna make one more screen and let's showcase the ability to turn on or off a check mark on one of these.
Sure.
So let's do this one here. And I'm just gonna give it a specific name. Uncheck to check. And then this one here, let's see, we've got a spacing of 16, not 600. And I'm gonna give that the same name. And then I'm gonna come from this item, I'm gonna prototype, and I'm gonna bring it over here. We'll do auto animate, and I want to tap.
I think you got the wrong one selected.
Oh, I think I did the top. Uncheck to check.
Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. Ignore me.
Good.
I'm confusing Peter.
Let's see, I think the snap was one that we liked yesterday, so let's try that out. Quick duration, let's go 0.8. Let's just see what that looks like. And then we'll go back here and we'll auto animate that as well in case we don't like that option. And let's take a look at what that looks like. So I come over here, I click this. I like that. I want a little bit more of something. So let's see. I think what we might be looking for now is a wind up or a bounce. So let's see what that looks like.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna bring up something. Speaking of check marks.
All right, let's try that bounce.
Yeah.
No. What we might need to do if we were to do this would be to have that expanded intermediary screen
Right.
and time release it.
Yeah.
I think that would be.
Could also do something like this, where you have like an animated check mark. Oh, there's my screen. So you can do something, ignoring the submit button, you can do something where the check mark actually animates. It's a little bit more in depth and requires a few more artboards, but
Yeah.
could be fun, especially
Yeah.
for an app like this one.
Let's see. I have a feeling we might finish a little early, and if we do,
Yeah, we'll come back and make some fancy
yeah.
animations.
So let's just do snap works just fine. So we're gonna go with that, and then that'll take us to this screen. And I'm trying to remember the sequence of how I'm setting this all up, so that way later we are good to go.
Yeah. And Dagny is asking, is there a layer name or transition name convention for when you are naming your layers or assets?
I would definitely have one. I don't know what that. This came out last week, so this is kind of new to all of us. And you know, I would just practice through it, see what the right option would be, and go from there.
And on a personal level, is there like a convention that you kind of strive for, or?
I mean, yeah, I might do something similar to an atomic design system.
Okay.
And if you guys check out later, Brad Frost's articles on atomic design structure is really great. So it would be things like buttons, or atom, organism, molecule, etc. / button / hover / active / focused, whatnot. So I might do things like that of,
Okay.
Animation / and then what that is, and that would help me realize and remember those items.
Right. And Matthias is asking what I said earlier about naming layers when doing animations to avoid getting fade effects. Let me set something up, and then I will show you exactly what I mean.
All right, so, excuse me, I think we've got this linked up here. And let's do another drag effect. So I can just pin this whole thing since it's all together. I want to go to this screen. I want to drag, auto animate, and I think we're good. And then let's go on this screen, and I will drag back, auto animate, excellent. And then let's just link this back up to ingredients. Cool, and let's check this out. So again, I'm not doing any kind of like crazy effects on this one because this is showcasing products.
Right, and you want that to be front and center and
Right.
not too distracting.
And so the idea here, and we should, again, the stuff is kind of good, it's not perfect, is, I'd have some kind of bullet here rather than just listing out the text.
Right.
But the minor details of this, and we can clean that all up later. So now I can come here and I can cycle through her essential products. And so these are the items that she uses that are in her product line for a recipe, and then others are more like, here's generic stuff that you should have, or baking powder, things like that you get at the store. But we want to have a little bit more appeal to the items that she has up here.
Love it.
And part of the reason I was thinking through this, and this is one of those like think through ideas, and you always play devil's advocate. I think that's one of the most important things with user experience design. Is I could say, well, I want to see all of the products that she has all on one screen.
Oh yeah.
But then I look at it and go, okay, the offset to that is that I don't get to see any of the other equipment that are needed.
Right,
and
which is very important when cooking.
And so then it just feels like a sales app, and it feels like it's just pushing it. And so I don't know, I felt like it was a good balance.
We have fireworks. So it's time for Chat and Win. We got the fireworks behind us. We're gonna cut to a video in a second. And when we get back, all you have to do is chat, just type something, smash your keyboard, or let us know what your favorite cooking, what are these things called? Cooking tools. Cooking tools. Let us know what your favorite cooking
The things in the kitchen that we utilize.
Yes. And so let's do it.
Yeah.
And we're back. What's your favorite cooking utensil tool thing? I don't know.
I like when my kids are mixing up. So the spatulas or the little whisks.
Oh yeah.
It's really cute because it makes a mess.
A lot of people are saying spatulas and spoons, whisks, pizza. Pizza? I mean, I like pizza, but you don't cook with, I mean, I guess you could. Hamburgers, family fork. All these comments.
Cookies.
Nightbot. Just smash that keyboard. In a second or two, we will pick a winner, and that person will win 100 stickers from stickermule.com. And Peter's got a Sticker Mule sticker on his laptop. Look at those cool stickers. Look at the monkey down there.
Freddy.
It looks like a dribble sticker.
Yep.
We've got, there's a whale, possibly. Some cool stuff. I think you were showing me yesterday your old laptop.
Oh, yeah.
The shell. That looked gorgeous. It was just full of stickers.
Let me see.
You have to find that.
I will. Don't pull up my screen yet. Hang on. Let me find it.
And we have Dion Campbell. We have a winner. So Dion, someone from Behance, is going to be contacting you very shortly. You just won 100 free stickers from stickermule.com. And if you didn't win now, there'll be more chat wins throughout the day, but you can also go to stickermule.com/Adobe Live right up there, and you get yourself 10 free stickers. They provide, obviously, great quality stickers, free worldwide shipping, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, they're awesome. They work super well. If I can't find the picture, but if you guys check out the last stream I was on YouTube, my whole clamshell was covered. It's the greatest laptop ever, and then the screen broke, and I cried.
Yeah. Very quickly, before we go back into this, let me hop over to my screen for a second. Let me talk quickly about what Matthias was asking. He mentioned, and I kind of touched on this earlier, about making sure that the layer names and types are the same across your artboards to animate. So on this artboard here on the left, I have a rectangle, and on this one I have a circle, and I may want to transition between the two and animate them together, right? So if I go into prototype mode, let me just do a very simple tap animation. Choose tap, choose auto animate, and we'll set, let's say, 1 second, ease in and out, whatever. So because at this point the layer names and types are not the same, you'll notice when I press play and tap, it defaults to a crossfade transition because XD doesn't really know what you're trying to do, right? So in this case, because they're completely different shapes, I would have to not only name them the same, but I would also have to have them the same type of layer. So in this case, it would be a path. So if I go to Object, Path, Convert to Path, I'm gonna name this one, let's say Morph, and do the exact same for this one, Command 8, and then Morph. And Eddie's asking, can you do color transition? Not yet, but hopefully soon. So now that I have both of these shapes across the artboards, the same type of layer and the same name, now it actually goes ahead and morphs it.
Yeah.
So, because XD kind of knows that's your intention.
And I believe color transition does work, because I think that screen I showed you this morning, I do a color transition in that.
I think it just snaps.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't fade. Yeah, it just snaps.
That's still, I love the smoothness of that.
Yeah, the morphing is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I believe color transition is on the list of things to get to.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, awesome. So I tried linking up a couple more things while we were here. So just coming over, we'll go to the directions screen. We can link back here to equipment. And let's throw this real quick onto ingredients as well. And we'll do, look like, let's go.
You can cheat by changing opacity, and you can do that with colors. You can also do that with, so basically if you have two separate layers, just drop one of the opacity and it will kind of cheat that color transition. And I actually did something similar this morning with a blur effect. You can't auto animate object blurs yet, but if you have multiple layers, one with a 0% opacity and then obviously the opposite on the other artboard, you can fake it.
Okay. All right, so let's go down to our video section here. I mean, this one's gonna be really simple. I didn't design out the details for a video screen. I figure it will just be very similar to our recipe. It's gonna show the video at the top, the title, and a little description. But again, for the presentation purposes, maybe we'll get to it after.
Sure.
But we've got the ability to scroll through that. So I actually don't need this screen. I thought I did, but I don't.
Bam.
And we've got our shop. And so what I want our shop here to do, I can't remember, what do I have?
Ryan's sitting at work. He should be working, but ... You're auto-animating, aren't you, Ryan?
If you get caught, you're here to learn and grow, or as Draplin would say, we're here, we're together, we're learning.
Yep.
Okay, so let's auto-animate. If I click baking line, that's gonna take me over here. And then if we click all, that would take us back here. If we click cookbooks, this will take us over here. And again, really, really fast. This is just like a little dance. We set all these things up. We've got our scroll on this guy.
It'll be another cool feature. Because again, dragging things, it's very easy, but with AI and Adobe Sensei and things like that, it'd be really cool if you have a menu, either a navigation bar or whatever you had at the top there, if it could automatically detect that there are artboards that are named exactly the same,
right,
and it just links it up for you.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I mean, if only we knew some people that might be working on this, or like on the Sensei team.
Yeah.
Maybe, Archie. All right, cool. So let's bring this to the back.
Daniel says, can you please show me horizontal scrolling? So there's no native scrolling, kind of like vertical. There's vertical scrolling, but there's no native horizontal scrolling. But you can fake it.
Right,
Just
so you
like
can
this.
do drag.
Yeah. So it's like a drag effect. I mean, it is a drag effect.
Yeah.
But it's like a scroll effect, but you have to drag. A little bit more work.
Yeah. But I mean, it feels really good when you're, especially on mobile devices.
Right, that's true.
Going through that.
But horizontal scrolling is something that the team is looking into.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, mobile, I mean, you're not going to be technically scrolling horizontally. You're going to be swiping, which is exactly what Peter just did. I almost called you Evan.
It's okay. Evan's a good guy.
It's been a long week.
I'm
Evan's
very
great.
okay
There he
with,
is, Evan.
with being called Evan. Okay, so then let's go back into prototype. We've got all of our top navigation items linked up. Let's go into the book, and then we don't want to drag, we want a tap, and we'll auto animate all of that.
iSharp is asking, is XD able to display a tree flow of all the pages? Probably not the way you're looking for, but if you go into prototype mode and then just Command or Control A to select everything, you'll see all the little handles all over the place.
Yeah, and this one I'm curious about because this is the same image name, and I'm curious if that's going to do a nice little effect for us. So
let's
we'll
find
see.
out.
Maybe we get a little nice little Easter egg without even knowing it. And then here I'm just going to do this, so we have our drag there, drag gallery, and I will click this element, and let's go back to prototype. Click, drag, done, and then here we can go back here.
Yeah, Kevin's saying, Kevin was also a guest on Adobe Live, saying you should tweet this to Rosanna.
I have. It would be really cool if she saw this. So guys, if you can take a second and make sure you tweet or retweet my tweet that's got all of her stuff tagged, it'd be really cool. It would make my kid's day to meet her and bake something.
And maybe once this is all finished and looking really good, create like a really fancy prototype.
Oh, it's happening. It is
happening.
Yeah.
You can use the angle plugin.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Or you can bring it into
too.
Photoshop and do some fancy, you know, animations with the, or bring it into a smart object and a nice little isometric iPhone.
It's gonna be good.
It better be good.
No pressures. No pressures. All right, cool. So I think we're all set here. So let's take a look now at our shop. Again, I mean, I love this. Like, you see all the craziness that starts to happen. And we can browse around here, so I can scroll through. Actually, let's dock it. Let's do this right. Let's get all of this stuff. And I'm hoping when I lock this or group it, that I don't have any issues with my previous links. Let's see. Nope, we're still good. Okay, so we're gonna pin that to the top, and I'll just do the same here. Fix position. That one doesn't matter, but I'll do it anyways. Okay, so let's go back. I can now, whoops. And then I need to make sure that that is a fill, and then all of this stuff, let me move this off for a second. I want all of these in the back. So I need to make sure that that is sent to the back.
And Tim is definitely right. XD's performance is crazy.
Yeah.
And the team really prides themselves on making sure to stick up with the amazing performance that we see on a daily basis. And that's sometimes why we haven't brought somewhat basic features that you might think are basic to XD, because a lot of, it's easy to say, why don't you just grab the paragraph panel from Photoshop and drag it into XD? But in reality, the code of that paragraph panel in Photoshop could be larger than the entire XD application, which would just destroy performance.
Yeah.
So it's a nice balancing act, but the team is working very hard to keep that performance at a nice high level.
Yeah, and I mean, to give a shout out to Talon and Elaine and Liz and Jonathan and the whole XD team, I noticed, at least at XD, that this is now the base for a lot of the newer applications.
Right.
And I think it's because the code base is obviously new. It's not built on older things, and it's really snappy, and I think we're going to see a lot more like that.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So now I can come over here, and again, I see all of the products, and I don't know why that is still not linking in the back. Is it? Oh. Sorry guys, I don't know what, whoops. Let's grab that whole thing. All of this, let's group it. Send it back. I think this one's good. Yeah. Okay, so let's do this, one more time. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
So now I can scroll through. This is showing me all the items. So I see a book here along with all the baking line items. Now when I click baking line,
Is it to a drag?
It's probably, yeah, I think I had a, yep. Tap. It was probably because it was following the last action that I had done. My bad. Sorry, everybody.
It happens.
Please forgive me.
We have lots of time.
We do. We got through a lot this week. I'm a little shocked. Okay, so let's check that out again. Oh, let's check our...
Dagny is asking, can you create and save headline/text styles like in Sketch? Absolutely.
Yeah.
The
so
assets
check this
panel,
out.
look at that.
Yeah, so over here I've got, oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Look
snap.
at that. You didn't know that?
The things
Learn
you
new things every day.
I just, what's that GIF with Lamar Burton? Like,
Oh, the mind blow thing?
yeah,
or-
the little rainbow, and it's like,
Oh, the more,
things
yes.
the more you know.
Yeah, there's also that button at the top, so you can, if you want to see them a little bit larger,
Yeah.
you can.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I tossed in all my colors here, and that keeps things in sync. And if I were to update this color, which actually, let's just, whoa, no.
Undo.
Let's copy this, and then let's just make it like a blue. And
Look
see,
at that.
right, I mean, like live,
It updates across the entire document.
yeah. And so it's really, really handy.
And that works retroactively too. So if you haven't been saving your colors in the assets panel, and all of a sudden you have all these artboards with a certain pink, and you want to change it all, you can save that pink and then update it, and
Yeah.
it still updates.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Really, really awesome. And I've got all my type styles here. I've set up some symbols. I've got linked symbols that are from other documents, like the iOS UI kit.
New feature.
Really, really neat. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I think we are set now. Oh, and then let's just set our back button. This will take us back here. Tap, auto animate. Yeah, let's bring that down to 0.4. Okay, and we'll do the same thing here. So let's check this out. So I go to shop, I can scroll, I want to check out the baking line. And I want to change that animation. We'll do that afterwards, but the one that we had in the
to
other
slide
section where it
across?
slid.
Yeah, that was kind of
really
elegant.
nice.
It was nice.
And so I'm just not sure which one we used for that, but we'll go back and check it
Yeah.
out. But it's nice. So I see these animations change. I'll probably speed that up too. It's a little slow for me, and you get like the type on top of the type. But then this is really neat. So I can click in. I can now drag through and see these images. And I can scroll through and read everything. And again, the reason this button is now pinned at the bottom is it is always visible.
Right.
And I can check that out. And we can add more images and whatnot in here, but that tells us a lot. So let's see how we are going to this next screen. So we did a tap with a snap at 0.4. So let's do that. Tap with a snap. 0.4. Let's bring that down.
Yeah, Kevin loves the drag feature. Isn't it great?
It's really, and that's the kind of stuff that, for me, what I appreciate about this auto animate is that it's getting me to think differently while I'm designing.
Yep.
Because since it is so easy to animate and prototype this stuff out, I'm thinking about it, whereas before it tends to be an afterthought, and then you go, what could we do that would be interesting? I'm doing it here live on the fly.
Yep.
It's really, really nice, and it goes a long way when you are selling this to your clients or stakeholders. It's a big selling point when you can wow factor somebody beyond what you're designing.
Absolutely.
It's a lot easier to get those like approvals and
yeah,
whatnot.
and you don't have to worry about timelines or keyframing, anything like that. You just design state 1, state 2, link it up, and it just does its thing. It's really cool.
Yep. All right. Cool. I think we're in a good spot. So let's do this. Let's bring this down a bit. Same thing with this one. Just gonna make that a little quicker.
Welcome, Darbaz.
Snap. Okay. All right. So I think we're done on that section. So we've got videos. We've got a scroll. Let's make sure that this is linking back to some of our other sections, and then we can fully prototype and experiment through this whole app in one flow.
Right.
And that's going to be really, really cool. Let me make sure that that snap works there. That looks good. I'm good with that. Okay, and then favorites. Let's bring this up.
Spencer's asking, where did you get the icons for the tab bar?
For the icons for the tab bar, if you check out my Twitter link yesterday, I posted it out, but I used Nucleo icons for this set. And what you can see here, they've got this app. I can come in and I can type, anything I want. So I could do cupcake, and it shows me the available cupcakes, and it's really, really easier.
Yeah.
And yes, Kevin, go tweet everybody. Make sure she sees this. Again, my kids just absolutely adore her. We'll have time. I'll play the video again of my daughter.
Yeah.
And you guys can see the joy that this woman brings my kids, and I'm very grateful for that.
And yesterday during the stream, we had a bunch of people throw in their icon resources. So there was Nucleo, as Peter was mentioning. We also saw Font Pick with a PIK. There was Flat Icon, Orion, and then Icon Jar. If you already have icons, you can basically use that kind of as a manager.
Yes.
A lot of cool resources.
Not for everyone, but if it has an Icon Jar file, which
true.
a lot do,
Yeah.
then it will work.
Yep. Ryan's asking, have you done voice commands yet?
I haven't, but I thought that would be really cool.
Could be.
So we may do that if we've got the time.
And that could be very helpful if you are in the process of cooking and following along directions.
Yes.
You don't want to grab your disgusting hands and start swiping on your phone. You just want to be able to talk to it.
Exactly. Let's do one real quick.
Sure, why not?
Let's just do one.
Alexa,
more
find me
piece.
cupcakes. There you go.
My blog, videos, find me cupcakes. Let's let's do search. Okay, so let's also take a look. Let's save our file. Recent, let's check out. I'm curious if there's a Siri screen here, and we can use that. There is not in this
I don't
kit,
see one.
but that's okay. You know what we might be able to do?
Screenshot it?
Hey Siri. That'll work. Okay, let's send that
Use your
over.
resources.
Yeah, I mean, let's not make this too complicated.
No, don't
I'm going,
reinvent
should
the
we
wheel.
Google it? Should we find the, no.
I wonder how
let's
many assistants we're gonna set off by just talking.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
yesterday
I think it
during
does a good job with your voice.
yeah, sometimes. Although HomePods don't recognize voices, they recognize everybody. It's kind of frustrating.
Okay, so let's throw this, excuse me, back down. And let's do something here. I don't know what happened. Let's delete that. Oh, so
It was
it's
listening
just
that whole
talking.
time.
Yeah. Okay.
Siri's always listening.
So let's just do a screen. We'll do one right here. Let's just drop in my image. Let's go back to design. 375.
Bam.
Bam. Okay, and I won't do the, actually. Hey Siri, find me a unicorn recipe by Rosanna Pansino. Okay, let's take
I found
that.
something on the web for Find Me a Unicorn Recipe by Rosanna Pansino. Take a look.
All right, let me send myself that. That way we get this looking a little bit cleaner. I think that'll be good. All right, airdrop for the win.
Love it. So seamless.
It is. All right, and let's swap out that image. Perfect. So we've got that, and
We just activated Spencer's HomePod.
we did.
Sorry.
So let's do this. Let's add a microphone in one of these, and I like this one. It's nice and simple. I think that'll work. So let's do that from the home screen.
What if the microphone had the top of a cupcake?
Oh, that's getting very complicated.
We're getting creative.
All right, how big did I make that? Let's do 16 then. So again, this is another thing I love about Nucleo is that the icons are different at the different sizes. And so it's redesigned to be an ideal for that specific size. And I just appreciate that because it's not always a matter of simply resizing things. All right, that looks good enough. Okay, so let's just throw that in there. I'm not as worried about showing that in each and every one of these yet. But for the purposes of this demo, let's tap on voice.
I'm not going to do that, Matthias. It says ask the assistant to Amazon
Oh,
Prime
jeez.
order something fun.
Adobe hit with lawsuit over. All right, so tap. Let's do an overlay maybe for this one. Let's do overlay. Oh wait, we need to get this from a prompt. So we need to go action. We don't want speech playback. Oh, voice. Here we
Voice,
go.
yeah.
So command. What did we say here? Hey Siri, find. I don't know if I need that. Find me a unicorn recipe by Rosanna Pansino. Okay.
Sensei, order 1,000 Nick Cage pillows. I like it.
All right. Well, let's see what that looks like. Actually, let's just do none. Overlay. Okay, great. And then let's do this screen here, and let's link. What's this thing?
Because it's an overlay, it defaults to going back to the previous artboard, so
okay.
you can drag that to the next screen and have a time transition.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. Time. Delay, let's give it like 1 second. Speech playback. And let's say, how about we make some unicorn cookies with Ro and Lily sing. All right. And then would you remind me, what is the hotkey in prototyping
Spacebar.
to do that? Okay, spacebar. All right, and our prompt. Hey Siri, find me a unicorn. Okay. I'm gonna have to turn that
Time
off.
to, oh boy, time to activate all the series.
Yeah. You know what? Let's remove Siri.
Yeah, change it to something else, Sensei, or
Yeah.
what, you don't even have to have anything.
Yeah, let's just say find me.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, pressure's on. And I just hold it and say it?
Yep.
Okay. Find me, nope, hold up. Okay. And let's just save the file and just make sure, okay. Find me a unicorn recipe by Rosanna Pansino.
Nope. Try again.
Let's double check everything.
Sometimes the microphone doesn't activate immediately.
Okay. Find me a unicorn recipe by Rosanna Pansino.
Try again now.
Find me a unicorn recipe by Rosanna Pansino.
You have to change your audio settings if you want her to
Let's-
talk back.
Ah, we have audio settings that are off.
Gotcha, okay.
And then internal speak.
Input, that's what it is.
Aha.
My
There we
bad.
go.
That's actually my fault because that's
Oh, that's for your Twitch streams.
that's for Twitch streams. I have to use Soundflower. So Adobe. All right.
Scared me.
All right. Find me a unicorn recipe by Rosanna Pansino.
Yay. And it's probably speaking back. We just can't hear it. Your sound is
Oh, that's
is
right.
hooked to.
Wait, so
Go back to system preferences.
Yeah. That's right.
send the output. Yeah, internal speak.
Oh, I just have it muted. Okay. Let's do that one more time.
Making progress.
Find me a unicorn recipe by Rosanna Pansino.
How about we make some unicorn cookies with Ro and Lily sing?
There we go.
Awesome. And then is it going to transition over?
No, because I think the time transition was for the voice command.
Okay. And so we can't do, can we do another to transition over? Then maybe what we do is we skip this and we pull this over
Oh yeah, that could work.
and then,
And then do the voice speech playback on that one.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna delete this board then. This goes over here.
Yeah, when Koi demoed this at Max, that was quite something.
And then-
Especially in a stage in a room that large, you never know what's going to happen.
Do I just go back for the speech?
No, it'd just be a time transition. So just click. Select the artboard and then just click on the handle on the right.
Oh,
And then-
okay.
yeah.
How about we make some unicorn emoji cookies with Rosanna and Lily sing. Okay, great. Let's do that one more time. Make sure that that's working right. Find me a unicorn recipe with Rosanna Pansino.
How about we make some unicorn emoji cookies with Rosanna and Lily sing?
Fantastic.
Nice. Love it.
I love it. Okay, and you know what I might do is just reduce the time on that. This guy. I just feel like that's a little bit long, so let's bring that down
Yeah.
to like 0.6. Okay, great. So, and we'll call this screen, let's do voice playback.
And if you want to see more voice stuff, I mean, you might get to some of it later if we have some time, but at the end of the day with Michael, his whole application is based on voice.
Yep.
So that's going to be fun.
All right, so let's see. And again, guys, like stuff here, I'll clean this all up later, but you'll notice I'm missing the hamburger on a few screens, and it's just because we were moving really quick on some of this stuff. So we'll clean it up if we've got, but I think, let's see, we've got all of our shop stuff done, all of our videos are done. Blog is good, this blog is good. This one, we just need favorites, which is up here. Tap, transition, okay, excellent. Voice playback looks good. Recipe overview, let's set up some of these things. So our ingredients, let's see, this one should go to our equipment.
We do have about half an hour left before we start heading into space and reviewing some portfolios. So if you do want us to review a portfolio, definitely make sure to submit it.
Yes, I love portfolio reviews.
Yeah, they're fun.
It is fun, and you know what? I try to give people good critique, but honest critique,
Yes.
because there's nothing worse than somebody telling you something that doesn't actually help you.
Yeah.
And there's nice ways to say things like, hey, I think it'd be really good if you improved on this thing, or showcase your strength or whatnot. It's not all putting people through a paper shredder. So there's some good things to share with folks.
Absolutely. Hey, Roxanne. Yeah, and you know, we as designers, or as aspiring designers, if people just went through and just told us this is great, this is great, this is great, nothing to improve, we wouldn't improve.
Yep. A lot of my stuff stinks, and I need people that's going to tell me that.
Yep. But in a constructive way.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's one thing to say this sucks, just change it.
Right.
But it's another thing to say maybe drop the drop shadow a little bit.
Yes.
Or round the corners, or don't round the corners, or something like that.
Yep.
That's how you improve.
And if for anybody that we don't get on the stream, make sure to follow me on Twitch. I do portfolio reviews at least once a month.
There you go.
And if you'd like your portfolio reviewed, send it in to me, and I'll add you to the list, and I'll make sure to give you a review.
Love it.
Okay, so I think all of these are good now. We've got all clicks and drags. We've got our video stuff, which, oh yeah, this one's really neat. This is like
Oh, the heart.
my
That's
favorite
cool.
little
Yeah.
thing I did last night. So again, this is gonna simulate, let's put all these items in the back. And actually the easiest way would be to bring this to the front.
Chris says he will always tell you that you stink.
I appreciate it. I remember so this is a true story. There was a shot I put up on Dribbble a couple of years ago, and I had shown it to, at the time, a closer group of friends that, we kind of all helped each other with design and feedback and whatnot.
Yep.
And everyone was like, oh, this is really good, and this is great, we love it. And then I showed my wife at the end of the day, like, hey, look at my Dribbble shot. And she just looks at me and goes, really? You posted that to Dribbble? And I never asked that group for feedback again.
It's a good idea.
There's definitely groups of people that I don't go to anymore.
Yep.
And I want the ones that tell me this stinks, or that just says, hey, this is good, but you are better than this, and you should elevate it accordingly.
Absolutely.
And those are the people that I appreciate most, because they truly help me. All right.
So now you just show your wife everything.
Yeah, so my wife sees everything that I work on, and she is the best feedback giver that I know. Okay, so here what I wanted to simulate is, and we should actually probably do this on a different screen outside of favorites. Here we might do something that splits and shows you like unfavorite or favorite. But the idea here was that if I wanted to press and hold on an item, or tap and hold, like kind of a push, that I would be able to favorite something. So what I did here was have this little animation, and it gives us that simulation, kind of like an Instagram-like.
I like it.
And I really, really dig it. So we might actually throw this up on, maybe on something else to showcase what it looks like to favorite. And then, because I think we've got time, yeah. And let's favorite cookies, or let's do this first one. Let's do Zootopia here. And we will create a second screen. Let's go into design mode. Second screen of home. Let's do Zootopia.
Yeah, Evan pretty much nailed it. He wouldn't be where he is today without constructive critiquing and mentoring.
Yep.
It's very true.
All right, so I'm just gonna call this like video, and I will call this one like video. And let's pull these over just a little bit more. And I want one more back to normal.
That is a lot of artboards.
It is. We did a lot of stuff this week. And I mean, this is removing everything that we explored.
Right.
And this is just the cleaned up file. The other one's got quite a bit more. Okay, and then let's look and see how I did this before. So let's go back into prototype. I had a tap with a snap at 0.3. Then I did a time of 0.6 with a snap at 0.3. And then this one, that one's going back. So this one was a time delay at 0.2. That just brings us back to center because we want it to circle back. So let's hold this whole card. We'll come over here to tap, oops, tap, auto animate, snap. I think we said 0.3 was what we had done. Then we had, what was it? Auto animate, snap, tab, snap. Oh, we had a time. Okay, so time next on the whole board, taking us here. Time delay, 0.6 seconds, great. And then this whole board is gonna go back here, time delay, 0.2, 0.2. Okay, great. So let's take a look at that. Boom. And we're back.
Sweet.
Excellent. Okay. I dig it.
There was a slight
Yeah, there's a little
Flicker.
in there.
Not sure what that is, but
I don't know either.
it could be a layer that might not be the same name or something to that extent.
Yeah. But
Who knows?
Oh, you know what it might be is I'm wondering, that's still part of the group. That's still part of the group. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, wait. That's like video. Oh, that's why. Here, this is group 614.
Aha.
This is like video. So this is group 614. Very technical naming convention, as you guys can see. And this is like video. So very subtle differences there, but you know, apparently makes that, yep.
There we
makes
go.
that difference.
Beautiful.
All right, cool. So now let's make a quick modification to this one. And maybe when we tap and hold this, I want, let's go into design mode. I want this to happen. And I want this to happen. We'll center these up. And maybe what we will do is let's add it delete's a little harsh. Maybe just a close.
Yeah.
Or can we do a heartbreak?
Ooh.
That might be kind of cute. Let's see, 24.
This one at the top. Yeah,
There we go.
there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that this is different enough, but again, just for today, let's just test it out. And maybe we'll do that there. And then let's remove the time on this one. So let's go into prototype. And the reason I want to remove the time, just turn that off, okay. And then the next screen, I'm going to actually delete that item because we're going to tap on that one essentially. And it's going to remove that from our favorites. So if I click on this, Oops, prototype.
Evan is suggesting to use the mask to break the heart into 2.
We could totally do that
Could do
as well.
that. You can auto animate to just like make it fall apart.
Yeah. Okay, so tap. Let's do snap. I think quick would be good. All right, let's try that out. So let's see now. Tap, tap. Oh, and let's just turn off the time.
Yep.
That's what it is.
I love the way those just kind of came up.
Yep, that was even better than I expected. Boom.
Oh, look at that. I like that.
Yeah, and we could probably soften that.
Yeah.
But I think we're in a good spot. So should we go for it? I think we got about 20 minutes. Let's go through this and see how it looks like. And one other thing just to mention to you guys, again, some things we skipped over. We would definitely want some kind of login screen and account settings in this, just simply because we're doing things like that shopping ingredient list.
Right.
We've got favorites. It would be nice to have that information tied to maybe one of your social accounts or an email so you don't lose that data.
Parental controls would probably be huge in an app like this.
Yes. Well, I mean, I think the shopping stuff would just take you out to Amazon most likely. So there's not a direct purchase. We could, but I'm thinking if they're not doing it now, they're probably not going to. But yeah, let's take a look at this. And you know what? We can do this, I think, here on the screen. So let me restart my Adobe XD app. And then we've got live preview. And we can pull this up. Okay, so let's go into the first screen. We'll have to simulate the voice command again on the desktop. I don't think that works on mobile yet.
That's a good question. I don't think so.
Because I don't know what I would hold, but let's take a look. So things like favorite, cool, we favorited that, we tap and held. We can scan through and browse these different items. I want to learn more about row, so I'm going to come over here and tap. And guys, I'm doing all of this on my phone as well. We're not doing anything on the app anymore.
Do you want to use the GoPro?
Yeah, we could use the GoPro to showcase this too.
Over here.
Let's throw it upside down and then I'll flip it on Wirecast. So
Cool.
we just want to put it down on
Yeah.
the table.
I want
Take one of these. And feel free to adjust it however when I get the shot up.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is the really cool part. And again, this to me is really important because while this might all look good on my screen, my laptop screen, I need to make sure that this looks right on the device that I'm actually designing for and using.
Super important.
Yeah, really, really important.
There we go.
All right.
You just turn the phone.
Just turn it this way or
No, the other way.
this way?
Yeah, it's from your perspective.
Okay, cool. All right,
Nice.
excellent. So again,
Look
I
at the
can come
dongle
here.
life we have going on here.
Yeah, Apple, come on. Okay, so we've got all this. I can scroll through these items. Again, this flow is so smooth. It's really, really clean. So I can do that tap and hold simulation, and I see that. I'm gonna come up here and click on this, and this shows me the expanded menu. I've got about settings. I've got all of her social media down here. So we'll tap on about. I get to see her bio and social links once again. I tap back and look at that animation. I just love the way that shoots over.
Slides across.
And again, whether or not that's what you would actually want to do in the application, it's the little elements, the little wow factors, and it just starts making you think about it. Because even saying that's not what I want, now your brain is going, well, what do I want and how would we handle that? And it's really cool. All right, so we'll go back out of this. Oh wait, we're in a loop. Let's go, whoops.
I think if you slide across, or if you hold down your finger.
Holding 3. Let's go, I can do it this way.
There. Oh, look, you can also do.
Oh, microphone.
Okay.
Neat. All right, so let's go back up.
I guess you just have to hold down and talk.
All right, so let's jump over to blog. And so we can come here again, we can scroll through and we can see all of the different recipe and lifestyle and DIY. And we come over here and you see that transition of the all text. to recipes, that little line shoots over. It's really nice. And again, I can scroll through on these different items. And then let's click into our unicorn emoji, which not sure again how did we get there? Oh, maybe on this. Let's go recipes. Click there, DIY. And we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Let's cheat, and we will go to this one.
Chris is asking, Howard, using that path concept you showed, could you animation the shape with image? I have no idea what you're talking about, Chris. I'm not quite sure.
The gimbal's on and it's like looking at visual.
Paco to the rescue. Chris, if you can clarify that, maybe I can answer that. Do you know what he's talking about?
Maybe
I'm not sure.
doing like a liquid effect or something, but with an image inside of it, and it's just kind of changing the mask shape of it.
Maybe.
I think the answer would be yes.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right, so here, I'll pull this up on the screen in the meantime. You guys won't see my hands, but we've still got all of this. So I can come in here, I can tap on the little heart up top there, and I can untap, and you see that animation. I made some changes to the gallery in a different file, so if that modifies a little funny, that's all. But again, I can scroll down here. When I drag this from side to side, you see how we've got the little, what's it called? The, like Howard Burns effect or whatnot. Ken Burns effect.
Yeah.
Zooming in as we modify those items. Whoops. So just really clean on that stuff. And then let's come over here to ingredients. And I can see all the things I need. And you know what? I've got some, put this back down. I've got some baking powder. So I'm gonna click on that item, and you see there we get that little transition of that check marking and uncheck marking. So really, really cool there. And then we'll come over to equipment. I've got my rolling pin and all these different products, and I can see all of these things really easily. And then I could click on one of those and it would take me to Amazon or wherever they are gonna be selling these.
Yep.
And again, the other equipment down here at the bottom. I come over to directions, and sorry, I've got really small touch points. I would ideally want to create like a big box behind these. So I'm gonna cheat this one because I have fat fingers.
And Kathy was asking how you preview your prototype on a phone.
Yeah.
And so Peter has it hooked directly to his laptop, and you can use device preview on the Mac. And if you're on Windows, you can do it with iOS devices, no Android yet. Right. And it just shows up. And you could
with
technically...
the Adobe XD app.
With
That's
the Adobe
where I'm in
XD
right
app,
now.
yeah. And you could unplug this and keep working, but it won't update in real time if you make changes.
Yeah. So really cool. And then we come here, I've got my directions, and I can just follow along here. And then we talked about we could tap these links and it would showcase the video at that specific time. And that would be really helpful. So lots of cool stuff there. And let's go back to overview. My fat fingers can't do it. So we're just gonna jump back over here manually to the home screen. Okay. And then we've got videos. So we'll come over here. And again, more stuff with Lily Singh, who did awesome on the Adobe stage last week at Max. And we can check out our different things. The unicorn cake that my kids made. Finding Nemo, which is a fan favorite in our household. Really cool watching her do these decorations. As a designer, there's like a certain appreciation for the stuff because it is, you know, another form of design. And it's very creative, and I love seeing all that stuff. We can come over here to our shop, and again, I can scroll through. I can see all the different products that we have here, and then I can come over to the baking line. Again, I get that nice smooth animation at the top with that line, and I can filter this down. So this showed me all before, and we'll notice this third item here is a book. And so when I click on baking line, that goes away, and the next items move up. And then I can go to cookbooks, and now I see just the 2 cookbooks that she has. And I tap here on this first one, and I get to see her baking all year round book, which just came out. And again, I can scroll through this page and see all the information about it. My Order Now button is always pinned at the bottom. I really love this effect, and I think it looks gorgeous on
It does
the
look nice.
iPhone X's with that rounded corner.
Yeah.
And it's just a nice way to do that, and it's always visible. And then again, I can cycle through like a gallery up top here. And anytime you do galleries like this, you want to always make sure that your item is cutting off the page just a little bit, so that the user knows that there's something else to be seen. And then a little pro tip here, this image on the side, because it's a white background, I know it's not coming through on the camera here, but there's just a very slight shadow behind it because I didn't want it to feel like it was lost on the page and it broke the frame or the grid. So that subtle shadow just gives it enough contrast to pop off a little bit. All right, so let's go.
And Chris also clarified a while ago what he was talking about. So on the About screen, if you go to your About screen, and you know when you switched over to About, that icon flew over. He was asking if you can use the path option to basically animate that X and change it into that. So yes, absolutely. I actually have an example somewhere in one of my documents. You can either manually move the lines to turn it into an X or an arrow, or you can just have it the same name and make it sure it's a path, and it'll do its best to animate that automatically.
Gotcha. Mine's probably not a path because I did actually connect the names to be the same in the hopes that might happen, but we'll see if we've got extra time, but I know we're getting near the end. And then we can come over here to favorites, which just as a reminder, this was the effect we have when we favorite something, which I just love this.
It's really nice.
This, I mean, I could figure this out in After Effects, but I'm certainly not proficient. I actually hire Evan to do all of my animation stuff, and you know, not to not hire him for that anymore, but
sorry, Evan.
Some little things I can do myself, and it's really cool to be able to do that
absolutely.
next to you. So it's very empowering for designers. And then let's come over here to our favorites. And once again, now I can scroll through and I can check out the items that we have favorited. And then I could come here and I wanted to simulate what does this look like when I want to maybe unfavorite an item and remove it. And I could just simply tap that and it immediately snaps up. So let's check that one out one more time so we can see it. So I tap this and it shows both, and I love the way that kind of like fluidly split
looks
the
great.
two items. And now I do heart, and I mean, that's just really, really cool. So that is the app. Let us know. I mean, I kind of can't believe we finished this week.
I know, right? Went by very quickly.
Let us know if you guys have any questions or things that you want us to clarify, or if there's something else we should build in the last few minutes. Otherwise, we'll get into some stuff.
Yeah, we have about 6 minutes before portfolio review, so if you want to do more voice commands, or if you want to
let's show the voice
tweak the
command one more
animations
time.
or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And it looks like you can, if you just hold down your finger and then speak.
Okay.
It
that's
should
really
work.
cool. All right,
Yeah.
so let's do it here so we can still see. What was our command? Let's just take a quick look again. Find me a unicorn recipe. Okay. Find me a unicorn recipe by Rosanna Pansino. And then let's make sure this is on. Let's go back. Let's do that one more time and see if we get the playback. Come on. There we go. Okay.
There it goes.
Find me a unicorn recipe by Rosanna Pansino. So maybe it's not doing the audio back yet. We'll have to check that out. But
The voice works.
The voice does work. So that's really cool. So it brought us to that result. And again, now we can go back and go through, check out some of our animation stuff. Awesome. What do we want to do next? I think that's everything, guys. We got through the whole app.
Wow.
We'll watch intently for the next now.
What else can we tweak on this?
Let's see. I mean, we can definitely update some things like the burgers, but let's take a look. Maybe let's do a quick video page. We didn't do that. So let's come over here. I'm gonna move this next to this at the moment. We'll call this video details. And let's do favorite treats at Disneyland. So let's actually YouTube Rosanna Pansino favorite Disneyland. And we'll just copy that description. Make sure my sound is off. Okay. Ads. Let's not show that. Okay. So let's grab all of this. And we can delete that now. And we'll come over here. Let's grab these items. I think we can get rid of this. And let's go into design mode. Let's paste that whole hot mess of stuff. And then let's bring this down to our body copy.
You could also create a pull and refresh, as Chris
Pull
was
and
mentioning.
refresh.
Like pull to refresh.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Could do that, yeah.
Yeah, if we got time, let's do that in a
Yeah.
minute. Because I don't know how to do that, and I would love to learn. And then let's do a box, and we did 327. Whoops. Width of 327. Okay. So we've got this, and we can just take this. Let's just round it all to 16. Get rid of this guy, and this guy, and this guy. And actually, yeah, let's use this up top. Throw that in there. My favorite Disneyland treats at the parks. Boom. And we're done. Really easy. Okay, and then we could do something, you know, we could even build out like a playhead for what does this look like when the video does pop up.
Right.
But let's do one of the pull to refresh. So I might need you to help me
Sure, I can show
walk
you
through
how.
that. Or if you've got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, let's do it on yours.
Yeah, I'll show you how it's done on mine, and then we can try it on yours if we have time. We have about 2 minutes before portfolios. So here's a simple pull to refresh example. And I have basically 3 artboards, and if I press play, I'll show you how this works. Well, 4 artboards, and it's using a drag effect, so I can drag this downwards, and you're noticing that the little icon is spinning because I have it set from 0 to 360 on the second artboard, and then it immediately goes into a time transition, and then to the 4th artboard where that new post kind of loads in. And in the prototype mode, it's a simple drag effect in the first artboard, no easing, and then it immediately goes into a time transition with a 0-second delay. And then from that one, there's an auto animate that loads in that new post, which on this artboard, it's hiding up here. So it gives that nice little kind of fly down animation. It's kind of neat.
Yeah,
Play that one more time. Just drag that down, spins, and then loads.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And this will be really cool when, you know, XD hopefully sometime will allow like SVG or animated GIFs or
Right.
MP4s, and you could do some really intricate ones. And it could be even the same one that you're utilizing on your site.
Yep.
And load that here into the prototype. That would be really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. Well, do we think we can do this or?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
All right.
Get it done in 50 seconds.
Let's do it. Okay. Let's group all these. All right, so we would just pull down, right? Let's group that. And then we'll pull down. And what would be a good loader? Let's see if there's one in here. Oh yeah, they've even got some animated ones, which is really cool. Maybe something like this. Again, might not be perfect, but let's throw this in there. Let's make this maybe our pink color. And let's drop that down one more. Okay, and then the next screen would be what? Rotating this?
Yeah, so it would just be 360 degrees. And then if you don't want a new post to come in, you can just link this artboard back to the original artboard, and it would just slide back up.
And so my first step, what would that one be?
So that one would be a drag. So select the entire feed and then use a drag transition. Yep, over there.
Drag.
Yep.
Any easings or anything?
Nope, you don't need any.
Okay.
And then from that one, you do select the entire artboard.
Time.
A time transition, 0 seconds. And auto animate, probably don't need any easing. Duration, probably about a second maybe. It might be a bit too long, but give it a shot, see what happens.
0.8. All right, excellent. And let's check that out. So we do our drag. That comes in.
Yep.
Boom.
And then you got to link the last one back to the first one, so it kind of all.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to get fancy, you can put the spinner above on the first artboard, so it kind of slides down with everything.
Yeah, let's do that.
And then we're going to hop into portfolio reviews in a second.
All right, let's do it.
Let's move this out of the way.
All right, and then let's try that out one more time. So we drag. Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what we could even do is,
Uh-oh. It's telling us to get to portfolio reviews. Alrighty. So, we're gonna do this. We're gonna head to space, we're gonna get some portfolios going, and we're gonna have some fun.
awesome.
Provide constructive feedback. Let's do this. Whoa! We're in space.
Let's do it.
That's cool. All right, let's take these off. We can breathe now. Awesome. I love going to space.
It's
the best.
that would be
isn't it?
pretty neat.
It would be pretty neat. All right, so we're gonna review some portfolios. We got 2 portfolios to review, and we're gonna start. Here we go. Let me move this over so you can see it as well, or you can look over on the screen. And we got Rajib. So, what do you want to dive into first? A lot of options.
Yeah, let's maybe pull up.
And I love that he's part of the XD lovers team.
He is, yeah.
Love that.
I don't know. Let's open up maybe a couple tabs of some of the top row of projects.
Sure. Let's start with Volvo.
Is anyone else that kind of user that you just tab into everything? and
Sometimes,
have-
yeah.
Oh,
We've got a video. Cool.
awesome.
Let's play this. Let's see what this is. Okay.
Okay, so this looks like maybe an animation of the logo.
Yeah, that was nice.
Cool.
It looked, the chrome looked kind of cool as it was.
Oh yeah, I love how that transitioned
nice.
in. Really clean.
Very cool.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay. Let me actually pull up what is the Volvo logo. I don't know it offhand to see.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay, so it looks like, reading all this, just keep scrolling down. So it looks like you modified, well no, it looks the same, so it might have updated. So maybe it's just showcasing the animation of the logo.
Could be.
It's not a rebrand or redesign of the logo.
right.
This is really cool.
It's one of those futuristic cars. All right.
So let's scroll up there real quick. Keep going down. The only thing that, let's keep going. What I'm trying to find here is I don't understand what you did on the
Right.
project. All the work is beautiful. I really like the presentation of this. Let's keep going down.
Yeah, it might be showing off basically this section here,
Yeah,
talking really about the autonomous vehicles.
yeah.
And this is very in depth. This just scrolls forever.
Yeah, what's just difficult for me that I don't understand is, okay, so now I'm starting to see stuff. So we've got, I'm gonna pull this up on mine too so I
Yep.
can follow. Let's see, typography, landing page. I really like the landing page. I love the graphics.
The type might be a little bit small, especially in the about section.
Yes.
I know that it's sort of a screenshot of the website, but I would say it's probably a touch too small.
Yeah. And then the other thing is the automotive design. Because I'm looking at the tags here. So interaction design, I'm assuming that's going to be, you thought through some of the parallax stuff on the site. You did the animation that we saw for the logo. You did the landing page of this. And then I'm assuming by automotive design that maybe you concepted, like, again, I can't tell because there's nothing here that tells me that.
Right.
And the reason I would like to know is that if you did this, this is highly, highly impressive. I'd like to see like drawings, rendering, CAD, wire layouts, whatever they're officially called, I'm not sure, but I want to see some more of that process, and I want you to talk about that. This just looks like you took the work that you did and threw it in here. And for Behance, I think you want more of those like robust kind of case studies.
So as Christoph points out, it does say landing page on the right. So I am assuming he did put all this together, this landing page.
Right. But there's so much here with, you're just talking about this car that I don't understand if this is part of the site or if this is the things you did.
Right.
And so some more clarification of that. I always like to see at the top of a page, like I think I do this, hope I do this, on my website, you'll see when I did the project, because I want to know if it was done last year or 5 years ago.
Yep.
Because that's different standards. This might have looked really good 5 years ago, but now it's dated. And then I want to see who you worked on it with, what your role was on the project, and some details around that. But the work on this is really great quality.
Totally. Oops.
Try to peek ahead at one or two more that you've
All right.
got.
Where are we heading now?
Let's do that Ride X. That one looks pretty good.
Which one's that?
It's the
The second one. Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like this one was done in XD. Nice. I love that top section. This very subtle gradient. It's not too harsh, and those nice little waves are really nice.
Yeah, I really like this one. And again, it's nice to see here you've got project date, the platform, the type.
Yeah, so if this was available on the last one, it basically tells us that you did the design for the app,
Right.
what platform, and the project date. So if you incorporate something similar into the previous or the newest design,
Yeah.
that might help.
And one other thing, just for people in general, put what your role was on the project. I see this a lot with designers that work at really big companies, maybe like a Nike or an Under Armour or something like that, and you find out their role was like production designer or something, not to downplay that too much, but like, were they the ones coming up with the big concept? Were they the ones really doing a lot of the work, or were they doing some of the smaller tasks? And that's an important thing to know, especially when you're hiring, because it sets those expectations properly.
Yep.
But yeah, I
app
really
itself
like
very
this project. Yeah. I like
Search
that
for
you
your
get to
place.
see a variety of the screens here. It's very clear with your description on the side with the screen. There's a better connection in this app, and I really, really like that.
Yeah, and again, I love the way those waves are kind of come through this document or this project, and it kind of breaks up the different screens. It's nice. Request a writer,
Yeah.
history, okay.
And one thing I like on this too is you've got little elements in the backgrounds. So you've got the curved shapes, you've got that like blurred out dot in the background. It's a good balance to keep things interesting.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
Yeah, and live product shots are always good. Seeing it actually in the real world.
Yep.
Even if it's just a loading screen, it's kind of nice. Profile view, and then other screens. Okay, this is nice.
Yeah.
They all kind of keep that same color scheme, consistency.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Overall, I mean, we've got a little bit more for him. So, I'm looking through a couple more of these projects. The Kahutol, the web design project.
Yep.
Again, really interesting here. Two things I would say is when we go to the About This project, just a little bit lower, your descriptions are okay. They don't sound like they're coming from you. It sounds like it's the customer explaining to somebody else what it is they do. And I want you to tell me that, hey, for this project, I helped this hotel that provides more than 744,000 guests globally. This was the problem they were having. This is what we solved. These were the results we got.
Right.
Whereas this is just telling me something more generic, and it's not helping me understand what you tackled in this. And then, other than that, I would just say watch your shadows a little bit when we get to this section here. I love that play button. That's actually one of my favorite styles that I like to use in projects, where you've got the full color playhead, and then you do like an opacity difference in the background.
Yeah, I see it. That's nice.
It's different, it's unique. I really like that.
It is, yeah.
But the little caret items you have down here with the shadows, that's a little harsh. And so I would just clean that up a little bit, and you'll be in really good shape. Again, I dig the rest of this. It's really clean. Nice job.
Yeah. And there's a video. Let's see.
Yeah.
This might, I'm not sure if this was produced by you, but it's nice. It's a nice element.
That's another thing that would be good. And you know what, I'd need to do a better job of this too. I have a project I did with Toyota for the Toyota Prius Challenge, and I just showcased videos that were like, here was them talking about the app on BuzzFeed, and here was the Toyota team talking about the app. And while I feel like that might be apparent that I didn't do that, I should clarify that further and make sure that people know that I didn't produce that content.
Yeah. And what do you think about this section here, the responsive bit?
Let me pull that one back up. I kind of like how that's shown. The only thing I'll say is you're not really following the grid system. So that would be my concern. I like doing that. There's someone online that I follow that does a nice job at showcasing the grid in their work, and you get to see that breakdown.
Yep.
The only thing is here it's not being used right. And so that actually I think works against you. So make sure that if you're showing the grid, that you're using the grid. Otherwise that it doesn't really have a benefit.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a look at one or two more.
All right, let's see.
Which one looks good?
Let's showcase. Let's do iGipt and maybe PhotoZia after that. So this one, just a little mistake I noticed. You've got up at the top app design 2018, but then when you come down, your date for the project says 1996.
Oh.
So just, a quick update, hopefully. This is a great description. So this is telling me it's a gift card app, it's an e-commerce iOS app. Users can choose their cards. This is the description that I'd like to see on all the others. And we've got our typography. The color here is a little vibrant for me. It kind of vibrates a little bit, that white on the
I was gonna say the white
color.
on the white text on the blue background is a little bit. It's tricky.
Yeah, but other than that, I think you're doing a really good job with these Behance case studies. So
Yeah, they're very
keep
in
it up.
depth.
Yeah. And Marshall, what sort of information best communicates the UX process and is too focused on UI? It's a balance. If you're trying to showcase more of the UX side, then I would encourage you to showcase your sketches, your whiteboards, whatever you've got, and describe what that process was. Did you guys use a Google Sprint? Did you do anything else different in the process? What findings, challenges, failures, successes that you had, and talk through that more. But at the same time, make sure you showcase. I like to see the final design early, and then kind of working backwards after that.
Right.
Because I don't want to have to go digging when I'm reviewing hundreds of portfolios for submissions for a job application. I want to get to it quick and then decide if I want to learn more or not.
Totally. Awesome. So thanks so much, Rajib. That was great. Great work. Let's move on to Christoph. I believe I saw him in the chat earlier. Oh, there he is. There's Christoph. So let's go ahead and see. So you're going to pull it up on yours.
Yeah.
And I have it on mine. Let's just start from the first one. Let's see what we got.
Mine's not pulling up.
So we have a daily UI 9. So I'm assuming these are daily challenges. This is a music player.
I like this. I have very mixed feelings on the daily UI stuff. I think I mentioned this the other day. You get a lot of things that are done that they look great, but they're completely unusable.
Right.
And I still see this being usable. I can tap into this. It looks like I tap into the album art. I get to see the songs on it. I love that you went the extra mile and did an animation on this, especially maybe in XD. We can do this stuff really easily. Yep. But yeah, I totally dig that. And
I like the kind of cascading effect at the bottom.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can zoom in there. They don't all come up together. There's like one and then another one not a few seconds, but you know, it just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. And I mean, Christoph, I wouldn't be too worried about whether or not you have description text in there. Again, a lot of times when I review portfolios, I like going to Dribble and Behance because I can just rapid fire look right away. When you have so many applications you have to review, you really only read the descriptions at the end. And honestly, if your work is impressive enough, I can chat with you about this stuff later. I'm not worried about whether or not you had a really big description.
Yeah. So it looks like these are all, oh, I see at the top. So we have UI design, motion design, cinematography. Okay, let's take a few more peeks at these. Okay, this is a 404 page.
Yeah.
It's cute.
It is.
The motion of the car is bothering me a little bit. Doesn't feel natural, even though, you know, cars don't naturally fly and land.
But if they did.
If they did, yeah, it feels a little bit off.
Yeah, so I want to give you a lot of kudos on this portfolio, and I was waiting for this comment until we got to go back and see the whole thing, because it would appear as though you don't have a lot of real world UI UX experience yet. And that's okay, because you've clearly put in the time and effort to show me that you understand the basics of this, that you do clean quality work, and that you've animated these things. So I would at least feel comfortable enough that you're somebody that has talent and drive to learn this, and that I could teach you the remaining information I would want you to know. This is better than not having anything, and what you have is really good quality stuff.
Totally. And someone mentioned a PlayStation. Let's see if that's... Where is there a PlayStation loading?
Maybe
Was this the
this
one?
one?
Oh, maybe landing page. Oh no, it might be this. They said payment. PlayStation payment loading. Maybe it's this one.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
That's
See
the
the
one?
PlayStation now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is great. That's cool.
That is nice.
That's really
Oh,
cool.
I love the way the PlayStation symbols kind of fly in there.
Yeah. The little feedback I would give you on this is I would make that button at the bottom have a little bit of a rounded radius, just because the credit card, this thing here, all has that. And then there's something about that last illustration that's bothering me just a little bit, because everything else is really clean, it's crisp, or it's got this nice gradient. And then I feel like we have this old flat design kind of item in there. So, you know, just a little finesse to make that fit in a little bit more.
Yep. But great work.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can swipe. Let's go for the first one. Let's see what we got. We got dribble sign up. Nope. Okay.
That's cool.
I love the way it kind of transitioned from the purple background to the white background.
Yeah.
And it just didn't just appear. It was like this fluid motion.
Right. And this is something would be interesting to see if you guys can create in XD. You might be able to do, I mean, it'd be a lot of artboards, but you might be able to do like artboard after artboard with each letter, with like a really quick timed animation between them, and sequence that out to where it would simulate that type effect.
Yeah. You can also kind of do it with a mask.
Right.
But then you'll probably see the half letters at some point if you really look closely.
Yeah.
Neat.
Cool. Let's check out maybe like these three here.
Okay. I like to see Apple Watch stuff, or just
do
watch
too.
stuff in general, because I feel like we don't see that often, and it's so tricky when you're designing for such a small display.
Yeah.
It's very different than a mobile phone or a tablet.
Yeah. The item of feedback I would give here, I mean, especially kind of like looking at relative scale on my watch, is I want these items to be a lot bigger. There's not a whole lot going on that security screen. Give me a giant toggle that I can't miss, or on the lights. You know, again, I think as we saw in the prototype, normally what I would do and what I do in projects for my developers is I create a bounding box in the back.
Right.
And I link that so that way it's clearly tappable. And you guys could see when I was trying to click that little type, I had a really difficult time with it. So have those toggleable or tappable items much larger on your
Totally.
page.
Take a quick peek at this one.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
very,
is
very simple. I love the enlarging effect. The heart icons are great. Very simple,
yeah.
not overdone.
If anyone is watching this and looking for somebody, hit up Christoph, because this is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a perfect example of people that should be creating stuff like this if you're looking to break into the field. This is really good. And laugh, I'll get that question in just a sec.
And we'll take a peek at one more before we wrap this up.
Really nice, really
love that.
clean. You've done a good job at all the transitions and the easings on things.
And I love the way the background is fixed, and then the foreground, I would assume is cut out in Photoshop, just kind of rises up and transitions nicely into a much darker screen.
Yep. Yeah, I think this is great.
The pre-order button is on top, it's fixed as well. Yeah, great stuff.
Leif, I hope I say your name right. I want to ask that. So do you look for quantity as well as quality, or is it companies you've worked for? A lot of UI seems so similar that what goes in your thought process in looking for hires or collaborators. Yeah, so it's a combination of things. I mean, yes, there's a definite assumption for, hiring managers or companies or clients that if they see, you've worked with Facebook or Toyota or whomever else, that definitely helps me get work. There's no doubt about that. But again, what did I do for those projects? Was it something that had a bigger impact, or was I a smaller support role? That stuff does matter. But in terms of quality over quantity, quality is great if the quality is as high, but I would rather see less items of higher quality. And I go through my portfolio every 6 months, and I strip away a project or two every time.
Absolutely.
I don't maybe want to show that anymore. I've gotten better since then, or whatnot. So
Because you'd be surprised, sorry to interrupt, but you'd be surprised at how often clients go all the way back in your portfolio.
Yes.
And it's kind of like reviews. If you're looking at a product, there could be hundreds of good reviews, but then you come across one bad review and you think, no, I don't want this product anymore.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. A client might see one project that doesn't really line up with their vision, and they might just pass on you.
Yeah, and I mean, I personally like hiring specialists rather than generalists. So,
Right.
I want to see that your focus is in UI UX design. I don't want to see a lot of branding or motion, or maybe motion because that can connect in. But I want to see, unless everything is at the most excellent level, I want to see a more filtered view of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it looks like his name, he said it rhymes with safe. So Leif.
Leif, awesome.
Awesome. So that's going to wrap it up for Peter. That was great.
Sad. I'm
Sad.
sad. It's always a fun time.
But make sure to follow this guy on all the things.
Yeah.
I would love to see you really put a little bit of polish on this.
Yeah.
And then publish it as either a Behance project, Dribble, and then like some really fun, mock-ups.
We definitely will. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to town and we'll do a really cool Behance project for this, and I don't know, maybe we'll share out the file if people want to tinker with stuff or something.
That could be fun too. And if we didn't review your portfolio here, there are 2 more guests coming up. We have Evan Place and Gus Bott right over there, and then Michael and myself will be back at 1, I believe.
Yep.
And you still have a chance to get your portfolio review. This has been fun.
It's been really fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been awesome to have probably the most qualified person to help us with all the new stuff that Adobe just released last week. So it's been great.
Yeah, lots of new stuff just came out last week. Lots of more stuff coming in the future.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you just in a few seconds with Gus and Evan.
Thanks, everybody.
See ya.